Hello and welcome. You didn't just stumble upon this moment. You were led here for a reason, because this is your Kairos. One day, God became curious. He wondered how the animals he created were living, whether they were truly content being who they were. So, he began asking each one a question. If you were to be born again, what would you like to be? First, he asked the pig who always looked so relaxed. The pig responded, "If I could be born again, I want to be a cow. People always call me fat and greedy, even when I don't eat that much. The truth is, I stop eating once my stomach is about 80% full. But cows are strong. They get to pull carts and see the world. And they're expensive. Their owners love them." Then God asked the cow the same question. The cow answered, "If I could be born again, I want to be a pig. I eat only grass and work all day long. I even have to give milk. I'm always exhausted. But pigs? They just sit there, get fed, sing oink oink while gaining weight, and lie around as much as they want. That sounds like paradise." Next, he asked the cat. The cat said, "If I were to be born again, I want to be a mouse. I've been hit more times than I can count just for stealing a little fish. And people throw me around just because I'm cute. But mice? They're tiny. They run around the whole house, eat whatever they want, and escape with ease." So then God asked the mouse. And the mouse said, "I'd want to be a cat. Sure, I get to eat delicious food, but I live my whole life hiding in dark corners. Cats? They're loved by their owners, and they roam freely, always on the hunt, especially for us." Then he asked the eagle, and the eagle replied, "I want to be a chicken. Chickens get fed when they're hungry. They sleep when they're tired. They roam the yard and peck at all kinds of treats. And if they lay an egg, they get praised for it. But me, I wander the skies all year round. I sleep under the open sky, bear every storm with my body, carry this heavy body through the air, and avoid hunters trying to shoot me. It's exhausting." Finally, God turned to the chicken. The chicken said, "I want to be an eagle. Eagles soar high in the open sky, spread their giant wings, and dive down like lightning to catch creatures like me. They never live in cages. But me, I have to wake up at dawn every day to crow like an alarm clock. I lay eggs daily, and I live in fear, not knowing when I'll be eaten next." After hearing all of this, God was deeply angered. Why? First, not even one of them said, "Thank you," for how they had been created. Second, each one thought only their life was hard, never trying to understand the pain and burdens others carry. These days, how am I living? Am I living with gratitude for what I've been given? Or am I constantly longing for someone else's life, forgetting to appreciate my own? Do I dwell only on my own struggles, without taking time to understand the struggles of others? Now let me tell you a story. There was a young man who started a business at an early age. As his business grew, he finally bought the new car he had always dreamed of. One day, he was rushing to meet a client and had to pass through a quiet countryside village. Out of nowhere, a young boy darted into the road in front of his car. Startled, he slammed the brakes just in time. But then, the boy suddenly picked up a rock and threw it at the car. It didn't hit the windshield, but it scratched the hood. Furious, the man jumped out of the car. "What do you think you're doing?" he shouted. "Do you have any idea how expensive this car is?" The boy's eyes filled with tears. He quietly pointed toward the end of the alley. There, lying on the ground, was an elderly woman who had fallen from her wheelchair. She was bleeding. With trembling lips, the boy explained, "Grandma wanted to go outside today, so I was pushing her down the street. But the wheelchair tipped and she fell. Everyone else in the family was gone. I tried waving at passing cars, but no one stopped. So I had no choice. I had to stop a car somehow. That's why I threw the rock." The young man's heart sank. He gently helped the boy lift his grandmother into the car and rushed them to the hospital. He called the boy's parents. Thankfully, the grandmother was injured but not seriously. The boy's parents thanked the man over and over, offered to pay for the car repairs, and even gave him a small token of gratitude. That night, on the way to the repair shop, the young man fell into deep thought. All this time, I've been so focused on growing my business, I never paused to consider the struggles others might be facing. I judged people too quickly. I raised my voice too easily. I blamed too freely. So he made a decision. I'll leave the scratch on the hood. Every time I see it, I'll remind myself not to judge too quickly, but to look deeper and try to understand others before reacting. And the money he would have used for repairs? He used it instead as a small seed to help someone in need. From that day forward, he began treating people with more sincerity. And over time, his life began to change. Before he knew it, he had become someone deeply respected by many. We so often judge too quickly. We criticize so easily. We rarely stop to ask what kind of pain or hardship others might be going through. But Jesus said to those who were ready to stone a woman caught in adultery, "Let the one who is without sin throw the first stone." And one by one, they all walked away, because none of them were without sin. Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you." John 8 verse 11. So let us also be people who don't rush to judge, but instead choose to understand deeply, to comfort sincerely, and to encourage generously. May you be filled with God's grace today, and may your day be full of blessing. I'm praying for you.